Welcome to Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. Your Real Money Talks host, Laurel Langmeyer, gets straight to the point about what it actually takes to make money and build lasting wealth in today's changing economic climate. If you're ready to get the financial results you've always dreamed of, keep listening. Real Money Talks is the right place for you. And now here's your host, Laurel Langmeyer.
Hi, this is Laurel, and I want to welcome you back to Laurel's Real Money Talks, where we talk about making money, keeping money, investing money, and doing it with a team. Today, I want to talk about yes energy. And the book I wrote, New York Times Bestseller, Australian Bestseller, is actually 14 categories in the bestseller. And the reason is because it's really broad and it appeals to every one of you, no matter what those categories are for you. If you don't have a yes attitude, and I actually developed an equation I'm going to go through with you today, but if you don't have a yes attitude, making money, keeping money, and investing money, and being with a team is damn near impossible. So this is about the equation to do less, meaning do less of the things that you're not good at. And so one of the activities, I'm going to give you some homework along our journey today, is to really start making a list of the things that you really aren't that great at. And eventually, I want you to stop doing them. Why are you continuing to do the things that you're not good at, you don't want to do? I always say, procrastination is a choice, right? The only reason you procrastinate is because you don't want to do it or you don't know how to do it. It's not really a difficult, conversation. A lot of people say, well, I procrastinate a lot. So just don't do it, hire it. You say, well, and I have to have the money. Well, then that's a different conversation and we'll teach you how to make the money. But saying yes is an attitude. It's a beingness that you just live your life by. There's an optimism of knowing that things are going to work out, right? So it's the diligence, what I call it, the secret. It's the action of the secret. So get a pen and paper, folks, because we're in for an amazing podcast. And let's talk about the energy equation. Having faith, confidence, certainty, and dreams. It's about honoring your gifts. You all have extraordinary gifts and doing it with a team, all in the right order, right? So I call it your energy, your optimal energy equation. And let's go through the details. So a new conversation. So a lot of you, I want you just to think about your conversation. And a lot of today's homework is about reflection, documenting your day, the amount of times you go from a yes to a no plan to, having, what's into a trailing negative conversation. So a new conversation means less chatter, really focused, paying attention to the linguistics, what I call the NLP of your conversation. I have a whole formula also in another program is called RALT, right? Is where if you want a certain result in your life, you can watch someone's action, you can listen to their language, which tells you how they're thinking. So your conversation does stem from your thinking, what's causing you to think a certain way. And a piece that I want to bring into the energy equation, which is a little more robust also, is just the energy, the feeling of the thinking. So some of you walk around doom and gloom and nothing's working and hypercritical and whining, and that's what you're going to get in your life, right? It's like a muscle conditioning program. So you want to atrophy what's not working and strengthen what you want to work. So the conversation, right? It's a burning desire and focus and a feeling that you're going to start getting up with every day. And, monitor your days in the next, week, couple weeks, and notice your conversation, and then reflect back on where that energy, feeling, and thinking is coming from and what's causing it. See, it's a choice. There's a lot of programs that say, well, you have to meditate and journal and do therapy and and it's going to take a long time. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's a choice to continue that behavior. Just like it's a choice to be broke. It's a choice to continue to overpay tax. It's a choice to not invest properly. So you make choices every day. They may be influenced by outer things. And I would say a lot of your conversation, the outer things it's influenced by are the people you hang out with. One of the sayings, I want you to write this down, that I speak a lot about is, show me your friends and family and I'm going to show you your future. See, a lot of you absolutely are committed to staying stuck in a conversation that supports your story. right? So I'm going to say that again. You're stuck in a conversation that absolutely supports your story, and your story is negative, or it's negative cycling, or it's embedded with a whole bunch of excuses of why life sucks, or why it is, why you kept a job, why you're in the marriage, why you have a family, whatever the thing is that supports the story. Because if your story is not supported, you have to either change the conversation, which then changes your consequences, changes your circumstances. So there's an entire richness to this energy equation that is solely about your conversation and what comes out of your mouth. And what comes out of your mouth typically then is led into whatever action you're going to be doing through the day. And then that causes the result that you have every day. So change your conversation, notice it, document it, and really have it be in the forefront. Like every morning, even before you get out of bed, just notice what I call it come from, but the energy, that where you're coming from, like where do you want your day to come from? Do you want it to come from that same conversation? Or are we going to have a new day today? We're going to have a new conversation today, a new energy today, and then start noticing that result. So keep a journal. Notice what that come from. I'm going to come from a yes place. I'm going to come from a positive place. I'm going to start surrounding myself with only yes people. And I'm not talking about the woo-woo, what I call the secrety people who are Pollyanna and actually don't have a result, but they speak like they do. And honestly, they're really disappointed. I'm not going to say depressed, but disappointed. So journal your conversations. Start every morning and just notice what you're reinforcing in all of that energy. Now, let's go to the next part of this. And I really want you to read my Yes Energy book, because it is just so, you can get it on Amazon and really, take this to heart. It's like my personal journey of how I've acquired and got where I've gotten, which is maintaining this yes posture. Now, I'm not going to say I have it like 24/7 and every day, the 365 days. I mean, there's times where you take heavy hits and then you've got to like get back into the posture of yes and continue to work it. But the book I just wrote, journey after journey, what has kept me in this yes energy. And the next piece of the equation is a big part of it, which is faith, confidence, certainty, and dreams. So let's break these down. So faith is just that underlying knowing of a yes energy that the best is always, in front of you, that you have a positive energy and attention to what it is you're causing, because you do cause anything. I mean, you're just a whole set of molecules anyway. You're causing positive things, or you're causing negative things, or you're causing confusion things. So how do you cause things to occur that is forward thinking in your life? Confidence just comes from a result in your life. Now, how do you get confidence? The way I always coach people to get confidence is stand next to those who have it. Same way I teach people how to get money. People say, well, I want to be a millionaire. I say, well, how many are you hanging out with? Well, none, but I'm going to be one. How would you even know what they look like, breathe like, smell like, talk like, behave like, unless you're spending time with them, like literally in their life, spending time? So confidence, it comes from results. It comes from what I call evidence, right? The more and more confident you get about making money, the more money you have in your bank account, the more confident you are at getting it, the more confident you are and investing when you start seeing more and more returns. But confidence is a muscle, and you grow into the confident muscle, but nothing is faster than standing next to those who have it and watching it be modeled, watch the decision making, watch the interaction with others, watch the yes energy, watch the certainty. Confident people, and I've had it for a long time, people say, well, you have an amazing aura. And I have a lot of confidence. When I walk into a room, I can guarantee you I'm noticed. I don't kind of quietly walk in. Confident people command all of their energy. They command a yes energy throughout all of their DNA, not just, in quiet, private moments. So it's not cocky. It's not manipulative. It's not overt and, overpowering. It just is. It's just confident. I know what I'm doing. I know how to help. I know how to serve. That energy, and I can promise you it's the most attractive energy in business and money that you could ever grow into. Now, certainty is a little bit different. Certainty has a little more knowledge in that part of the equation. So certainty is just knowing, a lot of times I'll be coaching or talking to people about money, and they'll say, well, those are interesting suggestions. And I'll say, that's what you don't get. Most of this isn't a suggestion. It's just what is. Right? You put money in a personal bank account, you choose to be overtaxed. You put money into a business account where you have legal deductions, you choose to be smart. So certainty is knowing. There's a sense of just knowing and just being in that certain place. Now, are certain people confident? Absolutely. They go hand in hand. And typically, certain people are very confident people, and they base their entire yes energy in some level of faith, whether that's in themselves, the people around them, a higher power, call it God, which is what I do. There's a faith, there's a integration around these concepts that I'm talking about, and these really beingness that I'm talking about. Now, the next one is a dream. You have to have a mission way bigger than yourself. So this isn't about just Laurel and Laurel's household getting handled. If that was true, like, we wouldn't do what we do. Like, that's been handled for a long time. This is about a big dream called, I'm going to change this conversation about money. So instead of this occupational conversation living in the world of, getting a lot of lives because you're all worried about yourself, then your bank account's a reflection of it. So again, like, those of you who absolutely have a gift and you know what your gift is, like, you got to use it. So there was this woman that she taught people how to reduce the autistic tendency of their children. And she went from being a stay-home mom to having a complete business, having a coaching business, having a Skype business, totally changed lives. So your gifts. Now, the last one is team and sequence. You have to have a team. When you're doing it by yourself and you say, I don't have time, I say you need a team. Like, somebody knows how to do what you don't know how to do. The ultimate equation of yes energy isn't say yes and figure out how. It's say yes and figure out who knows how. So who knows how to do it, and then get it in the right sequence. Now, this is just an experience thing over time, which is why you should have a coach and a mentor, is the sequences do the right thing at the right time for you. So all of you can do this. Like, the yes energy equation, it just works. So again, change your conversation, have faith, get your confidence, certainty, pick a big dream, bigger than yourself, use your gifts, honor them like you have them and they're here for you to make money. Use your team properly. If you don't know how, let us know and put it in the right order. So again, all of our comments and requests, and you can request a whole strategy session around your yes energy equation. Go to asklaurel.com, put in your name, phone number, and email, go to the questions box and say, I need to talk. I need to talk about the yes energy equation. I have questions about it. Document your day and just notice that the more you give attention to this equation and having yes in your life and being positive, it's just going to attract more. So you've been listening to Laurel's Real Money Talk. It's been grand to be here with you. Talk soon on our next podcast.
Thank you for joining Laurel for this segment of Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. To continue this new conversation and to find free resources to support your wealth creation, visit asklaurel.com/podcast gifts. That's ASKLORAL.com/podcast gifts. Thanks for listening and join us again soon. New episodes are released every week.